yay future, but also a little bit of future. Salut tout le monde, Bailey here. It is once again a beautiful, warm, sunny day here in Paris. So I'm once again here on my balcony. The school year here in Paris is starting to wind down. One of my classes is finished with classes, basically, and we just have work. And it's almost time for me to start like really planning Berlin this summer. So this year's winding down and next year's starting up in a way. I have my room number and I have my class schedule. So this week I'm going to talk about that at the end of this year and the start of next year. So I hope you're ready. I hope you're prepared. I know I am. This week I have an opera. See, they say opera on them, and it's like a layer cake with like chocolate and coffee and stuff. It's really good. And then I have more mint tea. So hope you're all situated. Let's get started. After everyone in Paris makes a little noise. So it's only the beginning of April, but in the American university system, like May doesn't really even count as a month. It's just usually your last few classes that you don't remember anyway, and then studying, and then finals. And that's kind of what this year is going to be like, I think. So my classes are starting to wind down, and it's time for, like, I only have one university final exam, and they haven't announced that date yet because they do it when they please. But as soon as that one exam is done, which is going to be sometime in May or probably unlikely, but the very early June, I'm done and I leave for Berlin, which I've been planning to go to Berlin. That's been my plan for over a year now, but my plan hasn't gotten any more specific over the course of that year, I guess. I know what place I'm going to take my classes at, and I know roughly how many of them I'm going to take, because I'm just going to go until like the week before Smith starts, because I want to get as many in as possible. But yeah, senior year is really starting to seem real. I keep thinking about talking to friends and like when I see you on campus again, like it's coming up, which is sad because I don't want to leave Paris, and it feels weird to start talking about and imagining being back at Smith when I haven't even gone back to Berlin yet, and that's first. I have of course started thinking about the world after Smith and after I graduate. As I mentioned in my last video, I planned things out a lot. Like I started looking at colleges in middle school, if not in 5th grade. Like I remember in 7th grade health class we did a project where we drew ties and filled it in with all the things we wanted to do in the future. And it was supposed to be like a don't drink thing, because then she went around and tore up people's ties and dreams because they died after drinking too much when they were too young. But I remember drawing on that I wanted to go to Smith. And then now I go to Smith, and so I remember drawing on that I wanted to go to Smith. I also wanted to study zoology at Smith, which is not an option, but the general idea is the same. And by the time I was in 10th grade, I had decided that I was going to do anthropology at Smith, because I had them read that about me in my Honor Society induction. So if you're the type of person who starts planning college in 7th grade, you're obviously going to start planning graduate school very early too. I started almost immediately after I was accepted into Smith, and had said I was going to go. Graduate school is actually the reason why I picked German. At that point I wanted to be an evolutionary anthropologist. And so I was looking at graduate school programs, and I discovered the Max Planck Institute in Leipzig. They just do evolutionary anthropology, and they seemed really cool, and they had a PhD program. And I thought, that seems really cool. I want to do that. I should learn German. And so I did, and now I do German even though I don't plan on going to the Max Planck Institute or even doing evolutionary anthropology anymore. I'm pretty hard set on the Vikings. which is why I'm taking Old Norse next semester with my advisor, who I have not met yet. So I obviously have graduate school programs picked out. I think I have 5 now. I think I have a list of 5 now. I haven't looked in a while, but like, I have plans is the bottom line, and so I'm not scared about the future because I always have plans, which I definitely like having the plans because it means I'm not scared about the future. But at a certain point, I'm just imagining my life in graduate school and in graduate schools that, like, I haven't applied to them yet. I don't know if I'll get in or whatever, but like, I'm imagining my life in the future instead of living in. So sometimes I feel like I spend too much time imagining the future and not enough time living in the present. And I don't know if this is a problem for any of you out there. Like, it's always guided me well so far. I've ended up where I've imagined myself being. But I don't know, it's just, it doesn't leave me as open to, it does leave me open to differences, but I don't know, I'm really glad and I'm really happy with my planning my future out, and I don't want to change it, but at the same time I really want to focus more on the present, especially when these things, like, I look back on my experiences in Germany and in Greece like almost every day, and I remember I was really happy, and I'm really happy here, and I'm going to be looking back on it, and I'm going to be looking back on this year fondly, but like now I'm picturing my life in like Iceland or Sweden like 2 years from now, so I'm either living, I think back on the past and like I'm always thinking about the past and the future and very little in the present. Actually, for me, my graduate school, the graduate school plans that I have now came around very late. I only settled on like the Vikings about a year ago, so that's a quick turnaround for me between the future I'm imagining and when it'll actually happen. Of course, by the time it actually happens, I'll have been set on it for 2 years, so that gives you some idea of the time frames I think in. But then again, it's not that I'm not adaptable to change that I haven't planned. Like, Greece only came about, I didn't know it was a program until like October of last year, and then I found out and I applied for it like within a week, and it was just like I didn't see it coming, but as soon as I saw it I knew I wanted to do it, and so I did everything I could to do it, and I got to go to Greece, and it was a fantastic experience. So yeah, where all this future and past and present combine, it leaves me very excited for next year, because like, it's always exciting when you first plan out your schedule, seeing what classes you're going to take and finding your friends that are going to take those classes, and like seeing friends I haven't seen in over a year, and there's going to be 2 years worth of people in my house that I have never met, and that's going to be really fun to meet them. Hope they think I'm cool. And then I'm also already like excited for things to happen. Like, I know next we have fall break because we don't want to celebrate Columbus Day, so we celebrate it like the week before and we get a few days off. But anyway, we have fall break, and I'm excited because I know I'm going to Iceland with friends, and I'm excited for Mountain Day, which is a Smith holiday where they just cancel classes one beautiful fall day. And I'm so excited to vlog about all of this, but at the same time it's like 6 or 7 months away, and I have so much stuff to vlog about and live in between. I think all of the stuff about Smith though is probably why I'm glossing over this summer in my future imagination, because I know exactly who I'll be hanging out with and what I'll be doing at Smith. But in Berlin this summer, I don't know that many people. I don't know anyone who will be in my classes, and I don't know exactly where the center is or where I'll be living yet. I know the city, but I don't know the specifics. It's like everyone I went to classes with in Berlin the last time has, for the most part, moved on because we were only there for a month. But this time I'll be there for 3 months, and I'll probably meet a whole bunch of people because these classes are organized week to week. So, like, I don't even know how many people will be in 1 week to the next with me. So that definitely makes it harder to imagine, but like seeing your friends again that's easy to imagine. That's always easy to imagine. But I guess the thing is, I guess the point of everything is that I'm excited for the future, both in the short term in Berlin and the slightly longer term in my next year, senior year. My gosh, and then in the very long, not the very long term, but in the slightly longer term, which is going to graduate school and getting to really focus in on what I want to do, because as you may imagine, it's not very easy to find courses related to the Vikings at an undergraduate level in the United States. And so, like, my whole time at Smith, I've basically carved out my own sort of unique track within the anthropology major and the bio minor, and now the medieval studies minor. Because I always said I wanted to do like some sort of archaeology thing, and so I'm taking a physical anth course next semester at UMass, because there will never be enough people to take a physical anthropology techniques course at a school with 2,000 people, so I have to go to the school with like 20,000 people. And then but that was always in the plan, and I always designed it as a physical anthropology major. And then with the bio minor, I just skipped like all over the place, and I didn't take prereqs for courses that I probably should have taken prereqs for. I just took stuff that was pertinent to human evolution, and even stuff that I thought would be pertinent but ended up being less pertinent. And now with medieval, because I've started it in France, almost all of my courses are probably going to relate to the French medieval period, which isn't really what I'm looking for, but that's what it's gonna be, except for my language requirement, which will be Old Norse, which is exactly what I'm looking for. So, but all that is another reason I'm really excited for graduate school. It's exciting for me, and I'm really looking forward to it, but it just gives me that one senior year quabble, which is, oh my god, what if I don't get in? And that's, you know, the crux on which senior years for both high schoolers and college students who are going on to graduate programs, it's like, oh my god, but everything could fall apart at this moment. It's not going to, like, I'm sure I will get into a program. It might not be my favorite program, but I will be going to graduate school. So yes, my basic feelings about the future are, yay future, but also a little bit of future, which I think describes everyone's feelings about the future. So, but at least now you know why I have those feelings. So I hope you like this coffee time. By the time you're watching this, I will actually be in Arles. I'm going there for a weekend trip with Smith. It's going to be fun. So Monday's video is going to be probably a little bit weird, and possibly next coffee times video will be weird and filmed during that too. I'm going to try and make a travel vlog, and I don't even know. We'll see. But okay, so if you miss me in the meantime, don't forget that you can find me across the internet, and I will see you on Monday. Have a good weekend. Bye.